Hey everyone, Bad Boys Ride or Die is the next installment of this high energy action drama with a side of comedy. And Hollywood is in love with its franchises right now because the cinematic formula can guarantee a certain amount of success, but is financial success really the same as making a good film? Maybe. So while you're here, please do give this video a thumbs up because YouTube's a monster and you will make my day by doing that. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get into it. Bad Boys, Ride or Die, which I think should be renamed as Live or Die, but whatever. Bad Boys, Ride or Die is an action-packed cop drama that has a lot going for it. And if you like the previous films, I think you will probably like this one as well. However, while there are some fantastic highlights, there are some issues that undermine the story and potentially some interesting new opportunities that just might give rise to a whole new exciting spin on the future films within the Bad Boys franchise. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence reprised their roles of Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, these two longtime cops whose relationship is endearing and hilarious in equal measures. And they find that their deceased captain is being framed as the inside man helping a violent drug runner. When Mike and Marcus actually learn about the frame job, they kick into high gear to clear the captain's name, putting just about everybody in their lives in danger along the way. So, what this film really does well is the comedy between Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. The chemistry that these two guys have on screen is golden, and it's the biggest reason that the film works as well as it does, because the actual mystery of who's behind it all isn't that hard for the audience to figure out. And we do that fairly early in the film, and it's all about how do they prove it? How do they do it? So between Marcus's post-heart attack diet and Mike Lowry's realization that he suddenly has something to live for, the two of them create a constant stream of comedic and emotional challenges that really push the story past any slow spots and straight into the next big action scene. The action scenes are also a lot of fun to watch. From the shooting to the driving to the fighting to the creatures, this film barely gives you time to catch your breath, making its nearly 2-hour runtime go by fairly quickly. However, there are a few points in the middle where you do become aware of the time, but then those moments pass during a series of highly explosive scenes as the film turns into the final act and the big finale. However, the best thing that the film has going for it is the next generation. Mike Lowry's son, Armando, played by Jacob Scipio, and Marcus Burnett's son-in-law, Reggie, played by Dennis McDonald. They just steal the show in different ways. Armando is compelling, if not a vicious killer who clearly has a softer side and a goodness to him that Mike Lowry is able to bring out by not abandoning his son despite multiple moments when the story setup and the choices that he has to make would really make his life a lot easier if he would just kind of abandon Armando. But he doesn't do it. And you see how those hard choices that Mike makes creates a positive change in the relationship with his son. With Reggie, who's an active military man who is on leave, we see him as kind of soft, kind of goofy. He's like a really sweet, nice guy who just sits around playing video games and eating Marcus's snacks. He's clearly not endearing himself to Marcus or to the audience until this one special moment in the film where we see the softer side of Reggie just kind of melt away and the soldier emerges. And the damage he does is spectacular in every way. So much so that it leaves both Mike and Marcus somewhat speechless and respectful, which leads to one of the funniest scenes in the film. The biggest issue with the film is that you can tell both Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are getting a little old for this level of action, or maybe it's their characters who are starting to feel just a little bit tired. They are funny, yes, and I absolutely enjoyed seeing them tear things up on screen. However, it's nothing new that we haven't seen before in any of the other films. And that is a really dangerous place for a franchise, because the next film will have to reinvent itself somehow to remain fresh and to keep that story feeling live. And the characters within the Bad Boys world really do need a refresh at this point. However, I think that's where Armando and Reggie could be used in the future. In this film, especially, they both stepped up to show that they have the action chops to be heroic in tough situations without flinching or wondering what the right course of action is to achieve their goals. They simply move forward and they move the story pieces into place, making them both a real pleasure to watch on screen. I really enjoyed them both. The one flaw that still sticks out for me in the film is that while we figure out who the big bad guys are and who the real inside man is pretty early on, we don't really get that scene in the film that nails everything into place that most mysteries or whodunits or problem of the week type films solved. Instead, we end up piecing most of it together ourselves without the why and the how ever being fully stepped through on screen. And that's not like a killer for a film, but with this genre of movie, it is really nice to see that completion happen on screen. And since most of it was fairly obvious as the story revealed itself, it would have been nice to see it wrapped up a little tighter with a bow. I normally don't think this is necessary, but again, for this film, it really felt like wrapping the story up would have helped to create a bigger feeling of closure and help to finish off the film at the end. Overall, Bad Boys Ride or Die is 2 hours of laughter and action-packed scenes that will leave you feeling like your money was well worth the price of the ticket. With a good story, some compelling new and returning characters, and smart directing that really kept the movie moving forward from scene to scene very quickly in most cases, I think that most people who see it will really enjoy it, especially if they already like the other films in this franchise. So, Bad Boys Ride or Die, have you seen it? What did you think of it? And what did I miss? Did I miss anything? And more importantly, what did you guys think of Armando and Reggie and my idea of having them come back in the future? Would you like to see them in more films? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, if you like this review, please do give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And subscribe for more videos because there are more coming. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you guys again soon. And in the meantime, happy viewing. Bye.